Hey guys, welcome to another video. So this year I want to help you guys get to a web development position. As a full stack developer of 6 months now, I self-taught myself web development in 2022 and 2023, and I finally landed my job and it's amazing. So I really want to go through like how you can be like a web developer by the end of 2024. Now I'm being realistic. I'm not going to say within 6 months or 4 months. I think you can reasonably get there in a year's time of hard work, and especially following the advice I'm going to give you today, which if I'd used this advice whilst I was working full time learning web development, I think I would have got there in a year rather than a year and a half. Cool. So the first thing to move on and know about is we need to look at the Odin project. Now the Odin project has two major paths we're going to talk about here. It's got foundations, which covers just all the basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You just 100% need to do foundations, but it's not enough. It's not enough to do this and get a job. You need to do foundations and then do full stack JavaScript. Ignore full stack Ruby on Rails, unless you're going to go move to Japan where they hire for Ruby on Rails because the Japanese made Ruby on Rails. Just go for full stack JavaScript. So you want to do foundations into full stack JavaScript. So let's make a little text here. Do the Odin project. Right, and you might be thinking at this point, well, Josh, everyone in the world says do the Odin project. If you're on Reddit, they 100% do. What's the difference between you saying this? Well, the first thing is I'm going to tell you what I had dialed in and honed in to like a fine edge by the end of the Odin project, and that is how to tackle like learning it properly. So when you actually do the Odin project, the way it's built is it's going to like give you a bit of information about that subject area, like a little assignment, and it's going to give you lots of pages to read, and it's going to give you an assignment like a project, right? So if you go here, let's go for let's go to foundations, and let's go to like command line basics, right? You're going to hit command line basics. It's going to tell you some stuff on how to do it and whatnot, and it's going to give you visit the Unix shell course designed by Software Carpentry. It's going to give you like a bunch of like places to go. You don't need to do all of these. You do need to scan, like see what you need, like have a little read the actual info on the Odin project, and then go down to the bottom where it's going to give you like your knowledge check, and just try to do the knowledge check. If you can't do the knowledge check, Google it, understand that fully before you tick it off, right? But eventually you will get to some kind of projects in the Odin project. So if I go to foundations, if we go down to recipes, this is like the first HTML project. When you get to a project, like you might not know everything, but you just want to hit it immediately and start like trying to do it. And then when you can't do certain things, go and look for more information rather than reading every tiny little bit, right? But another thing to actually understand is, right, as you go for the Odin project, you're learning, about certain sections, and then you hit a project. Always just do the bare minimum for the project that you need to learn, right? Like that sounds pretty bad, I know, but don't try to make, a to-do list that's like perfect, right? Like I made this to-do list. I spent a long time, crap. I made this in vanilla JavaScript and HTML, CSS back in the day. I spent a long time doing this. I think I spent a couple of months doing this. That was a waste of time, because this is not going to be a portfolio piece, and it wasn't a portfolio piece. So do not make the mistake I've seen people make a bunch of times. Do not spend like ages on a to-do list, right? Get to the end of the Odin project, the end of JavaScript full stack, and when you get to that final project, that is your portfolio project. That's the project that is going to set you aside. So let's put copy this and put so read the minimum needed, understand the basics, tackle the project. Right, this is what you should do. Literally read the minimum, understand the basics, and then tackle the project. You're going to have to go back and read stuff when you do the project, but do that. Like I said, for example, assess what am I learning about this project? What is it trying to teach me? For example, you'll get to the weather API and you'll have to do, get some information from a server and fetch that information back. That's quite a difficult one early on, right? I remember not understanding that at all, and it was so difficult, but now it's a joke. But the point of that is, pull that information back, display it, that's it. Don't waste time trying to make it beautiful and pretty and perfect. I promise you, that is not going to be the project that is going to get you the job, right? Maybe in 2019, when it was like super hot and everyone was hiring in tech, but not now, right? You need a project, like an actual project. All right, the third thing, manage your time. This one's big. If you're manage your time. If you work full time, like I did, and you're not just a student. If you're a student, like more power to you. Like again, manage your time, be efficient with it. But what I'm saying with manage your time is, let's see, what I did, I found by the end, is that I had the mornings, the evenings, and the weekends, right? I had the mornings, the evenings, and weekends. Use the mornings to do a set task, that you set on the evening before. And you've got the page open and ready, and you're like, this is what I'm going to read today, or this is what I'm going to work on, this specific problem, you've written it down. Don't wake up half asleep with your coffee, not knowing what to do. Always know what you're going to do before you even start, right? Wants to do a set task, cool. In the evenings, right, do something easy, right? Leave the easier work. For example, for me, it was CSS. Leave that till later on. If you're going to make something pretty later on with CSS, for your portfolio piece, whatever, just leave that kind of less draining work to the end of the day. Less mentally difficult work. Now, the one caveat I'm going to say here is flip the morning and evening round if you're an evening person. If you find it's just way easier to do evening, like in the evenings to do complex work, do it then. Do the easy stuff in the morning when you have sleep. Whichever works for you. For me, I'm a morning person. I like to get up early. Right. And I found like once you've done a full day of work at your job, you're going to be mentally drained and it's hard to focus on difficult things. Right. Last thing, weekends. Right, here's what I really recommend. Do the chores. Do chores throughout the week. Right? Just like things like, I need to add this small function to my little app that I'm making. I need to update the CSS to be mobile ready or something, but you should always start with mobile first. Anyway, it's another thing. But do the chores throughout the week, right? The little things. Do the big planning on the weekends, right? When I say big planning, I mean like if you plan before you start a project, you're going to want to plan how you're going to do it, how you're going to actually achieve the project, right? So I found on the weekdays it was very difficult because I knew I was going to be disturbed by work, and there's only so much time on an evening, and I was quite tired. So that's what I think is best. On the weekends, get up early, smash some hours out doing your programming, and then go and enjoy the rest of your day. Just go and do that. This kind of ties in with this, but I would say fourth, do a little every day. Now, do a little every day is like absolutely necessary. You're going to build a lot of muscle memory. It's just going to be a lot easier, right? It's going to be a lot easier. I don't know how I've managed that. It doesn't matter. Do a little bit every day, and even try to commit to GitHub every day. Now, if you're like me, I burnt out a little bit doing this. Take a break, take a day or two off, but try to do a little bit of coding every day, even if it's the bare minimum, right? Just like none at all, because it's going to help you out in a big way. One, it's going to look better for employers, right? You're just going to look a lot better. For example, if we go to my GitHub, This needs updating, honestly. But you can see like my contributions in the last year. This was before I had a job, and you can see how much I was contributing nearly every day, right? In fact, I think it doesn't say my streak. I don't know why it's not loaded here. It's not fetched it, but my longest streak was, I think, like 115 days. So definitely try to commit a bit every day. Employers are going to see that, and even though it's superficial, it shouldn't matter. They're going to see that, and it looks good. It looks like you care. It looks like you want to program, and you're okay sitting at a computer all day every day. And that's what you're going to need to do, because that's going to be your job. So yeah, do a little every day. And then the last thing I'm going to say is, once you've done all of that and you get to the final project, right? You're all into one good project. I really don't think multiple small projects are needed. People are going to argue with me here. If you disagree, put in the comments your reason why. I don't think this is the case, but I think you want one good quality project that takes you 3 to 6 months even. That's going to be the one that makes a difference. So for me, that was this staff holiday tracker. So, I mean, I look at this now and I think it's quite terrible. But I made this with React, SCSS, and Firebase for my backend, and Redux. And honestly, I look at it now, it's terrible. I mean, I'd literally used an abstracted backend. So, yeah, it's good. I mean, making a calendar, from scratch is a lot of work. It wasn't like easy to make this and make it interactive and whatnot, and have like login and stuff. But this got me the job. Like, my boss was interested in this when I showed him it. So yeah, definitely put your all into making like a good last final project, because that is going to make a huge difference. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, to be honest, I think that's pretty much it. Make sure your project's good. Oh yeah, actually, before you do your project, decide what you want, right? I saw this advice recently and I couldn't agree more. And I wish someone had said this to me. If you want to do like front-end web development stuff, make some very nice landing pages and shops, right? Do like a web shop, you know what I mean, like ASOS, right? If you want a job as a web app developer, right, you want to do software, you don't want to do, like, for me, I wanted to do stuff like this holiday tracker, right? I wanted to do apps. I didn't want to do like some like kind of like shop that you click onto, or website, because for a start, a lot of them are done with WordPress, but that's besides the point. If you want to do a website, do websites, right? As your final project, do something like a shop that's really good. That it's using, good SEO, stuff like that, and spend some time on that. If you want to do, web apps, like I wanted to do long term, make a unique web app. A lot of people say just do CRMs. I kind of agree. Go and research how to make a CRM. Make a basic CRM, not with all the features. Make it so the currency is correct and perfect. Don't mess that up. Use sockets if you can for like lifetime data. All those things are going to give you a big advantage. Use maybe GraphQL. I think that might be useful for a CRM. We use it in my work, for example. We use GraphQL, but you don't have to. CRUD's also really good with like Express and whatnot. So decide before you do your final project, what is it that I want to do in web development, right? If you want to make like web apps, do something that's a web app. Do something like a CRM, because honestly, CRMs are probably in like 90% of the jobs in web apps out there at the minute. Companies need people that are going to make these CRMs. They're going to make business software that can like handle all the inner workings of a business and whatnot. And if you want to do websites, go and make some beautiful front ends with, I don't know, just make a really nice React website, I guess, and take your time on it. Yeah, so that's it. That's the video. If anyone has any questions, I will endeavour to answer all of them. So please put them down below. And thanks for watching this video.